What is happening, Moolah? Jason Shappert here. So great to see so many of you back here again over on TikTok. I see you piling in there now. Over on Instagram, post in the chat. Say hey real quick. YouTube, Facebook. Who's out there as well? Great to see all of you out here. So thankful to be with each and every one of you tonight as we enter into day 2 of the 14-day Moolah Challenge. Yesterday, you saw the video posted across our social channels. Many of you were on the live stream last night. We were talking about, this idea of building that millionaire mindset. And this seems crazy sometimes, but it's this idea of building wealth starts in your mind. Right? It starts with you believing in you. It starts with you believing you can actually do it, that you can actually accomplish that audacious goal or whatever that is that you may have. That's where it really all starts. And then we can work backwards from there to really work to create that plan. And that's how we can really segue into all of this. I want to remind everybody, I'm sure most of you already do, but like, subscribe, follow right here at Moolah, especially in the middle of this 14-day Moolah Challenge. So we're just really today working to break down the money myths that may be holding you back. Who thinks, maybe put it in the comments, who has a money myth? Maybe they believed it at one point. Maybe they heard it. Certainly you don't believe it now. I mean, maybe if you do, we can work through that as well. But who has a money myth that's been holding them back? And let's dive into that and let's talk about that. And I want to share some here with you tonight. And as you come up with them, maybe pop in the chat. I've got all the chats up, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok down here. I can see all of those. So again, type in the chat, everything else as well with your comments. But I want to dive into what we believe are some of these money myths. And one of the first ones is this. I got a big list here. Only the rich invest, right? Or you'll hear other people say, you need a 6-figure income to build wealth. Or here's one I see often. I read every comment, by the way, on social media. I see this one. I'll invest. Sometimes said, I'll save when I make more. If you cannot be faithful with the little, what makes you think when you get more, you'll be faithful with that as well? This is like going to the gym, right? You've got to get in there and you've got to get your reps in. You don't go to the gym once, do all your bicep curls for a year and call it good, right? It is small, consistent actions, because what actually happens, right? What actually happens if you get in there and you go to the gym and you haven't worked out in years and you go too hard the first day? How do you feel the next day? And even better, how do you feel the day after that? Like I don't like this gym thing. I don't want to go back. The same is true of your finances. If you try to go all in, if you try to hit the home run, if you try to do all your saving, all your investing in one day, well, you're going to hurt yourself financially speaking. It is these small, consistent actions. So I would encourage you to lose the money myth. Well, I'll invest when I make more. I'll save when I make more. These are myths that are holding you back. Here's another one. And by the way, post in the chat, give me some emojis, something like that. If you ever heard these, or maybe there's some myths that you have heard that we can share and dive into as well. Here's a big one. Debt is always bad. Debt is always bad. This is going to sound crazy coming from a guy who's here to teach you financial freedom. But if I can be honest with you, the honest truth is not all debt is bad. Now, there's various schools of thought. There's some schools of thought that say you shouldn't have any debt. You should buy everything cash. And I understand that, right? And I get that as well. Hey, Hunter, great to see you over here now, too. I understand that as well. But in actuality, can we use debt as a tool? What if you're using debt to finance a cash flowing rental property? My wife Magda and I have done this before, where the property is cash flowing, right, even more than what your mortgage is. But then you have like, and I see on Instagram how you talk about Dave Ramsey says, buy everything cash. I did an interesting video a while ago, and it was funny because you had Dave Ramsey on the one side and Robert Kiyosaki. He's the author of Rich Dad, Poor Dad on the other side. And Robert Kiyosaki said, I think the number was like $1 billion. I'm not making this up. He said, I have $1 billion in debt. However, he said, I'm cash flowing on all of it. My $1 billion in debt makes me $2 billion, right? Well, top line revenue makes him $1 billion in profit after that. So he was using debt as a tool. And you have to realize that I kind of fall right in the middle. I don't like credit card debt. I'm not anti-credit card if you can truly be honest with yourself and pay them off each and every month. I like the reward points my American Express Platinum card gives me. And that's more a charge card. You have to pay. That's a nice card. You have to pay it off at the end of each month, or Amex isn't going to be very happy with you. I'm not a big fan of carrying a 27% credit card balance. I'm not a fan of an 8 or 9% mortgage, honestly. That's not advantageous, and rates are coming down. You see, real estate on average appreciates about 4% a year. Some have been more, some have been less. Throw in some 2008s in there, right? Average it out, 4%. Compared to like the stock market, S&P 500, which is about 8%, 7 point something percent, which is great. If you can get a mortgage, you know, does anybody remember when we used to get mortgages at 3%? Like that was a really great time. Now we're missing those. We used to complain about, the mortgage was 3.7% and I really wanted 3%. Who would love a 3.7% mortgage right now, right? Many of us would. But you can cash flow on rental properties like that. Austin asked a really great question. Great to see you. This is what, 2 days in a row now, Austin? I like it. Austin said, do I carry a credit card? And the answer is yeah, right? I carry 2 credit cards. I'm an American Express kind of guy. I like the charge card. Honestly, it's hard to run, and I say this very humbly, it's hard to run a business the size of the business we have grown without a credit card, just on a debit card with the spending limits and everything else, plus the security aspects of a debit card. So we have an American Express Platinum charge card. And this is not a plug for Amex by any means. I'm just telling you what I use. And I pay it off every single month. It has to be. It's a charge card. They don't let you actually carry a balance. I do have a Barclays Visa card because we do still live in a world where not everybody takes American Express. And it's those 2. And that is really it. You know, I stopped using like debit cards at the gas pumps and stuff because of all the security limitations around it. Debit cards have gotten immensely better. But back when I was in college and everything else, it wasn't the safest way to do it. But think about it in the environment. If you can be earning your reward points for your training, in this case, Austin, paying for your training, paying it off each month and not accruing that debt, but earning those reward points, I am not Mr. Anti-Debt. I'm okay with good debt. I'm not okay, Austin, if you want to go out and get a BMW and, you know, put maybe 5% down, but you know, when you drive it off the lot, it comes off the lot, it loses 12% of its value, and you're upside down the moment you get it home and show your spouse or your girlfriend or your parents or whomever, look at my car that I'm $7,000 upside down on. There's better ways to spend our money, right? It's a myth that debt is always bad. Let me tell you what debt really is. It's a tool, just like money is a tool. You'll meet plenty of wealthy people that use what they call OPM, other people's money, right? And those are investors and everything else that do that. It's just another avenue. Let's look at some other popular money myths we may be believing out there. Who's ever said this or heard it? Save for a rainy day. I'm going to take a really bold statement, and I'm okay with a little pushback. We're all friends by now. This is a little back and forth here. Save for a rainy day. My wife and I both have mothers that tell us, Jason, Magda, you need to save for a rainy day. Yes, you do need to save. For those of you that known us for a while, like Hunter, do you remember when our house flooded? I don't know, was that 3-4 years ago? Well, there was no time. When your house floods from a hurricane, by the way, is how it flooded. When your house floods, there's no time to wait around for insurance to pay out the 60 days it took to actually pay out. There's no time to wait around for that. We were very blessed that we were in a position that we had an emergency fund that we were able to pay for it out of pocket to then go and wait for the insurance check to eventually come. And even today, 3 years later, not all of it came, and we've kind of said it's not all coming, I guess. You hear people say save for a rainy day, and here's my problem. There's two problems with just the phrase. There's nothing wrong with saving and building an emergency fund. It's first off, save for a rainy day implies that a rainy day is coming. And those of you that know me know that I'm really big on the power of my words. And if I believe a rainy day is coming, I'm probably going to get a rainy day. I'm optimistic. For those of you who don't know, Mags and I, we're like the most optimistic people you could ever be around. We just believe the best in everyone, in every situation, and we're going to find a way and everything's going to end up okay. If you say I'm going to save for a rainy day is probably going to come. Now, you still need to save. But when I say save, I don't mean your emergency fund is under your mattress. At least put it in a high yield savings account. Keep it fairly liquid. Honestly, even putting it in a brokerage account is within a few days fairly liquid. By the time you sell the asset, let the funds clear, you can have those funds in 3-4 days. So you have to look at things that way. How can I let my emergency fund be at least working for me, thinking of each dollar as a soldier, right, to go out there making me more dollars? That's just another way to look at it. So no, Hunter, I wouldn't put it in the sock drawer. The sock drawer, not under the mattress, not anything along those lines. Hey, Anna, good to see you on here. Anna from M0A. So I'm trying to figure out a balance where I can do flight, train, still save some money. Any suggestions? Anna, you were in the right spot. I mean, Anna's been listening to us for a very, very long time. Great to connect with you over here. Now, by the way, I hope everybody likes and follows and subscribes over here as well. I mean, look at that friendly smiley guy. Who wouldn't want to like and subscribe to him? Anna, you're spot on. Let's answer that. Then I'll dive into some more money myths. Anna, we're just talking about money myths that people believe. And what happens is it ends up holding them back, right? So if Anna's trying to figure out a balance where she can do her flight training and still save money, do we have any suggestions? Anna, the last one, I don't know if you were on earlier, I just shared that there's a myth that debt is always bad. I'm not Mr. Anti-Debt. If you have to take on some debt at an advantageous interest rate, advantageous for Anna, not advantageous for Wells Fargo, just to be very, very clear. Sorry, Wells Fargo, to call you out like that. Add Bank of America in there too. I hope I don't get any letters in the mail. Advantageous for you, I'm okay with that. I'm not even like Mr. Anti-Student Loan, honestly, because our 10-year-old wants to be a vet one day. I'm thinking, girl, you better start saving, right? We can do the 529 college savings plan and everything else, but that's not going to cover all of vet school. There's going to have to be some debt taken out there. Anna, learning to fly is a very profitable career, as we know. Look, humbly speaking, you know this very well though, Anna, because you followed us way back when we were small, right? Flight training and aviation as a whole can be prosperous. And especially for you, Anna, you have the knowledge, right? I'm okay if you have to take out a loan to do that at an advantageous interest rate. And Anna, where are the side hustles, right? Where are the things you can be doing? How can you find this? When you come to a place, let me just kind of preach here for a second. I get preachy sometimes, and I apologize. But when you come to a place and pursuing your dreams, nothing is beneath you. Anna, if you came to me and said, hey, Jason, I've been trying to get this flight train done so much. Money's been an obstacle right now. I'm driving Uber on the weekends. I would say, Anna, good golf clap. Good for you. Nothing is beneath you. Like, creating success is really about two things. The first is working smarter, leveraging your time. And secondly, you do have to hustle. Like, you cannot just sit back and wait for checks to land in your mailbox. You've got to put yourself out there, but you also have to work smarter. What do I mean by that? Well, Anna, you're not going to fund your entire flight training by driving Uber. That's trading time for money. And I understand that, but you also need to pick up some side gigs. You know, for what we're building now with Moolah, most of the people I've hired have come from Upwork, believe it or not. Like, what skill set do you have that you could put on something like Upwork and open yourself up to literally the world? Hunter, I love your comment, by the way. Hunter said, I picked up DoorDash and bartended for a few extra money since the weather's been awful, not flying so much. I love the humility. And you're going to tell these stories one day, Hunter, to someone else, another lady in her flight training or whatever it is. And you're going to say, listen, work smarter and hustle. It's not always about working harder because you'll burn yourself out doing that. How can you work smarter? Leverage the power of the internet, these sort of things. My goodness, it will take you so much further. Again, for those of you joining us, I got off on a little bit of a topic here. We are diving into money myths that are holding you back, the things you believe. So again, we're in the middle of the 14-day Moolah Challenge right now. It is only day 2, so make sure you like, subscribe, follow here as well. Video in the morning, live stream each night. So be back again live tomorrow night. But let's keep moving forward here. Let's keep moving forward. And by the way, Anna, I remember we had this conversation many webinars ago about you earning additional certificates with extra money. I love that idea. Hunter, look at Anna's comment. Anna's on Facebook, so let me make sure you see it there. So valuable. So valuable. Can I make this bigger for, here we go. Hold on one second. Stand by. Because I realize some of y'all are on, hold on. Stand by one. Let me make this bigger. There we go. Move this down. Now you can see it bigger. Well, you know, if you're on, hold on, some of y'all on Instagram, I got to move it over here. My apologies. I totally fibbed. There we go. Now you can see it. I just want Instagram to see it too. There we go. That's where I should have been doing the comments. Okay. Anyway, so Anna was saying how she is earning extra certificates. So valuable. How can you be bettering yourself? Right? In her case, AGI. So smart. All right, let's go back. Money myths that are possibly holding you back. These next two kind of crack me up a little bit. Again, I read all your comments on the Moolah videos we've been talking about a lot lately. I did a video on Elon Musk, Warren Buffett, just showing these people who really started with nothing and built their fortunes, right? Add Jeff Bezos to that category as well. And the comments on there, well, yeah, they had a head start. They inherited money from their dad. They did whatever it is. There's such a myth that millionaires inherited their wealth. Can I tell you something? And I bet even Hunter and Anna, who've known myself and Magda for many, many years, don't even know the story. Do you know when we first moved to Florida, when I was young, my parents moved us into a motel. Like, lived in a motel the first few months of my existence in Florida. I was born in Maryland and then moved to Florida because my parents had a dream, and they started a pest control business, killing bugs. And in Maryland, as Hunter will tell you, in Pennsylvania, there's no bugs to kill in the winter, is there? So Dad literally said, where can we move that we can kill bugs year round? So we came to Florida. And we couldn't afford going from Maryland, very low cost of living, to Florida, a higher cost of living. We couldn't afford a house yet. So we lived in a motel until we could afford a house while Dad built his business. Don't tell me that all millionaires just inherit their wealth. I'm telling you, There is nothing wrong with starting from nothing. Like there's only one place to go and it's up. And I want you to really live that out and just feel like there's nowhere else to go but up. Don't believe the myth that millionaires inherit their wealth. Don't believe the myth that rich people are just lucky. No, they put themselves in places of opportunity where luck can bless them, but you got to put yourself out there. Just like we're talking about. Nothing is beneath you. Go drive Uber, Uber Eats, DoorDash. I don't care. Upwork, go on up. I don't care. Sell all your fancy stuff on Poshmark. I don't care what you have to do. Scrappy people figure it out. And if y'all are watching this at 8 o'clock on a Tuesday night, you're a scrappy person and you're going to figure it out. Another money myth. If you work hard, you'll get rich. It's another money myth. Like I was telling Anna earlier, it's not about working harder. It's about working smarter. And by the way, take it a step further. It's not only about making more money, it's about keeping more money. If you don't have these reps in of learning to save, of learning how to invest wisely, and we're going to talk about investing strategies and what Magda and I have done to build wealth and success in our own personal financial journeys. We'll be sharing more about that. But that's what it all comes down to with that. Hunter said, I tried Poshmark, not my thing. I mean, I get it. But you know what? You tried it. You put the ball in play one more time. My wife, Magda, was a professional tennis player back when she lived in Mallorca and on the European tour and everything else. And one thing her coach always taught her was hit the ball in just one more time. Stop trying to get all fancy. Stop trying to do all this. Just hit the ball in one more time. Hunter, you hit the ball in one more time. It wasn't your thing. That's great. Guess what? They hit it right back to you and you get to respond again. On to the next thing. Hit the ball in one more time. Apply that to some flight training students you have, Hunter, right? Just one more time, please. One more landing, please, right? Here's some other ones. Then we're going to wrap this up here before it gets too late because I hear Sophia talking downstairs already saying, Dad, it's time for bed. We go to bed early. We're real party animals around here, the Shepherds. The stock market is like gambling. Well, you hear this a lot, but I'm here to tell you the S&P 500 averaged out. Add COVID, add 2008, add September 11th, add Cuban Missile Crisis. Like, I don't care how far back you have to go. The S&P 500 has averaged 8% year over year. Good years, bad years. This past year was a great year. COVID was a bad year, followed by a great, like all the averages out 8%. Where else can you go find an 8% return? Again, through this Moolah Challenge, I'll be showing you exactly how to do it and the exact places where I do that, the exact index funds I use and everything else. I'll be sharing all of that later on, not tonight, but in future episodes. So again, please, please, please like, subscribe, follow. I can't say it enough so you don't miss a video. You don't miss a live stream. Few more. Let's go a little bit faster here. Few more. You should pay off your mortgage as fast as possible. It's a myth. I mean, that could be true if you've got an 8 or 9% mortgage. You better be making double payments and hustling that thing on down. And honestly, if your mortgage is 9%, double payments aren't going to do it. You're going to need even more than that, right? If you're sitting on a 3% mortgage, think about it this way. Let me give you an example. Let's say just hypothetically, your mortgage is $200,000. It's at 3%. That could be possible, right? For some of you listening. $200,000 at 3%. You have $200,000 liquid, ready to go. Would you rather pay off that mortgage and have no mortgage and get rid of that 3%, or take that same $200,000 and do exactly what I just told you, put it in the market at 8%? But I'm paying 3% on my mortgage. I realize that, but this money is making you 8%, right? So you are still up 4 or 5% on that money. What is the cost? You always have to ask this question when it comes to debt. what is the cost of paying off this debt early? Now, if you got 8 or 9%, or forget credit cards, they need to be paid off every month. I'm talking you've got a 6, 7, 8, 9% mortgage. You need to hustle that thing on down. But when you get in the 5s, the 4s, especially the 3s, you need to sit back for a second and say, okay, what would it cost me if I paid this mortgage off? This is just like, no, they don't teach this in schools. Like, I had to learn this the hard way. What is my opportunity cost if I pay this off? If I pay this off, yes, I save X amount in interest. Or I could be earning 8% annually. Yes, my mortgage is 4%, but there's still another 4% on that side. I'm on the right side of this deal. Does that make sense for everybody? These are the things you need to think about. Go get a 4% mortgage, buy a rental property with it, have the renters paying your mortgage, your HOA, your cash flowing a little bit. And by the way, real estate grows at 4%, right? So your cash flow, and by the way, at the end of the day, you still own the asset. Like, this is how I need you all thinking. I'm getting so far ahead. I'm supposed to just be talking about money myths, not get into the tactics. We'll get into the tactics in the days to come, I promise. But just for now, here's another money myth. A college degree guarantees success. I wish that was true. It doesn't always work. I'm a 3-time college dropout. Never finished, by the way. My wife's so smart. She has a master's degree and everything else. I just can borrow hers if I need it, right? Seriously. Do you know somebody that has a college degree that isn't making the crazy amounts of money they should be making? A college degree is not like just a here, pay me 6-figure kind of thing. And I love what Hunter said, right? And not having one doesn't limit you either. I got to move that comment down. There we go. And not having one doesn't limit you either. I am all about that. I am all about that. I love what Marie said over on Facebook. You see the myth all the time. It takes money to make money. If you believe that, it's going to continue to hold you back as well. We were just sharing, Marie, I don't know if you're on earlier, we were just sharing with Anna and Hunter, who are trying to fund some of their dreams, in their case, aviation dreams. And you have to come to a place where nothing is beneath you. If you believe, it takes money to make money. No. In today's world with technology, you should be driving Uber, on Upwork, selling your stuff on eBay. I don't care. Like, go-getters figure stuff out. My very first business that many of you know, M0A, bootstrapped isn't even the right word to use. I was living in my parents' house and filmed the first videos in their garage with no air conditioning. Like, I had nothing. I was living with my parents. Like, there was no money to invest and hire and developers and everything else. I learned how to code. I learned how to edit videos. And again, I say all this humbly. I'm not shouting at you by any means. I'm just saying, like, you got to figure stuff out. And I love that attitude. Marie, great comment, by the way. Great example of a money myth. Let's do 2 more. It's too late for me to start investing, or it's too late for me to set up my retirement account. That's not true. I just had this, Mom, I apologize if you're watching. I just had this conversation with my own mother. She was saying, yeah, I really, I've got my 401k, but I just haven't been contributing it. I'm already so far behind. What's the use? I said, Mom, like you've still got, my mom's 60, right? You got 5 years to go back to working smarter, put a little hustle in there, and let's do this thing. Let's make these next 5 years count, and let's get back. And by the way, Mom, for people your age and in your situation, you're allowed to do tax-free catch-up payments as well. So that's the level of knowledge and thinking you need to have. One more and then we're done. I promise. A 401k is the only way to save for retirement. Now, some of you, Hunter, I know you're sitting back there and saying, Jason, you're talking about saving for retirement. I'm just trying to pay off my flight training. I just got married. I'm trying to figure all this stuff out. You're talking about retirement? And yeah, right? I'm going to pull the dad card right now and be everyone's dad for a second and say, if you don't have a retirement account, well, I'll share with you a great one to set up in day 7 or day 8 of this as well, because it's all about managing fees and minimizing fees. I'll show you the right ones to set up. If you don't have a retirement account set up now in your 20s, in your 30s, in your 40s, you're leaving money on the table. Your future self is going to thank you for these things. And by the way, a 401k is not enough. Did you know you can simultaneously have a 401k, which is provided by an employer, and an IRA, an individual retirement account? Did you know you can be unemployed and set up an IRA? Like, this is the level of thinking and mastery, to use a favorite word of mine, that you need to set up, that you need to do, okay? That's what I need you actually thinking about. By the way, I love your comment, Anna. I'm putting it up here. Starting your own business, aircraft wash and detailing. I love it. And it keeps you in the environment that you love, which is aviation. I love that idea. But yes, a 401k and an IRA. Magda and I have both, and we max out both. Your future self is going to thank you. I am telling you. I am telling you. So tonight, we were breaking down some money myths. I'll recap a few of them. If not, you got to catch the recording again. Only the rich invest. Debt is always bad. Save for a rainy day. Millionaires just inherited their wealth. If you just work hard, you'll get rich. Like, these are all myths. You have to stop believing the lies. You know, Magda, when we were talking about dinner, and by the way, we had my favorite dinner. Anybody want to take guesses on my favorite dinner? I'll reveal the answer at the end. I know, just to keep you in suspense. We just had my favorite dinner. It's nothing fancy. We just were having dinner. He said, you know what? I was reading something interesting in a book that the majority of bank robberies, and I'm thinking, where is my sweet wife going with a bank robbery analogy? I'm like, if you've met Magda, Magda's like the sweetest person ever. You're thinking, I never saw you using a bank robbery analogy before, but I'm listening. She said, the majority of bank robberies say they have a gun, right? Give them a letter, a note, say they have a gun, but they don't have a gun. And she said, yet everyone acts like they have a gun. Everyone believes they have a gun, and they don't. And I thought, whoa, these money myths are the exact same way, right? If you believe these, you will frame your entire life around these myths. So I'm going to encourage you, Hunter, Maria, Anna, those of you, Wesley, I see some names flying around here. Those of you watching this, even those of you that are like wallflowers that haven't commented yet, I'm still watching you. It's okay. I see you. I want you to start to frame everything you do around this abundance mindset. Remove these money myths and replace them with this abundance mindset. Like, you may not have it just yet, right? You may not have it yet, but I'm taking steps to get there. I'm taking steps to get there. See, I knew people were out there. Hey, Noel, great to see you. Take the steps to get out there, to take action on this. This is what this all comes down to. Break the myth by telling the new truth. Maybe it's your truth for now, whatever it is. But break these myths. You are called to abundance. Anna, Hunter, Wesley, Maria, I think all the names I've talked to tonight. You're called to abundance. And if you believe that and you operate your life in that, you have no choice but to find success. No choice. Anyways, I told myself I was only going to go 20 minutes. I somehow went 35 minutes. Questions, comments, concerns? Anna, my favorite dinner. Hunter said steak and eggs. No, it's not steak and eggs. My kick lately has been Chipotle. Forgive me. I'm carb loading, maybe. I got to do 14 live streams in a row. I got 12 more to go. I'm carb loading. Chipotle. It's just good. Right? I mean, I don't am I the only weird one? I know. So anyways, Stacy, great to see you all out there. Great to see you all out there. Rather, Hunter says, were you talking about Chipotle so good or this live stream was so good, Hunter? Just to be, I'll assume it was the live stream. I'm teasing. I've known Hunter for a long time. Just teasing. Okay. Thank you. Thank you for my Chipotle lovers. Thank you. Thank you for my Chipotle lovers. By the way, we can talk Chipotle stock when we get into the investing side of this in a few days. Anyways, tomorrow across the Moolah, TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, you'll have day 3 posted. Those of you who know me from M0A know how the challenges work. You post in the comments that you're 2 for 2, you're 3 for 3. So we check it in the comments each and every day. And then you're going to join me each night. So I hope Stacy, are you going to join me? Stacy, I want to see you back tomorrow, 8 p.m. Eastern time. We're going to break this down even further. We're building those financial muscles, and it starts in your mindset. Then we'll get into all the cool, I'm going to call them slightly nerdy tactics that we're going to get into. But as Hunter and those of you who know me know that my wife Magda and I have humbly a little knack for breaking tough subjects, complex subjects into plain English. And that is what we're going to do here throughout this challenge. So looking forward to that. Stacey, look forward to seeing you tomorrow as well. So again, like, subscribe, follow if you haven't already. Cameron, I saw you just did that. Thank you as well. If you got any value, by the way, any questions, last call, any questions. Maria, I love that. Maria said, working on abundance. Maria, I love this idea. I love the abundance mindset of what we're pursuing in all things. Thinking bigger and choosing to see. Maria, I don't know if you were on last night. Last night, I shared a favorite quote of mine, and it's from a book called Think and Grow Rich, written by Napoleon Hill in 1937. Still just as relevant today. And many of you, Gus, I see you're watching. He certainly knows it. Hunter knows this. And yes, Hunter, we're on TikTok too. Moolah Copilot. Moolah Copilot on TikTok too, if you'd rather follow over there. But the quote I was talking about, Maria, is, in every adversity, there's the seed of a greater advantage. And Maria, when you adopt that abundance mindset, and say, you know what, this stinks, not my favorite situation I'm in, but I know that in every adversity, there's the seed of a greater advantage, you will find a way. When it seems like a wall, you will find your way. It's so important. You don't have to understand all of that tonight. We're gonna expand on that topic. As you fall asleep tonight, I want you thinking abundance. I want you thinking in every adversity, there's the seed of a greater advantage. So what is the situation in your life right now, Maria, Anna, Wesley, Stacy, Hunter, Gus? What is the situation in your life that most people would call an adversity, but you're going to call an advantage? My dream was to be a military aviator, but I was too tall. Can't really change that, huh? We built a really, really great aviation business. Now we're building a really, really great fintech and financial business to help people like Anna pursue mastery financially. Because what good, right? And then keeping health and wealth and family and everything else so tied together. Because Hunter, what good is it to get your dream job and you never get to see your husband because you're so busy, right? How do we create the environment where you get to spend time with family and enjoy what you've built? That's what the 14-day Moolah Challenge is all about. And Maria, you're spot on. Plant that seed and grow. Hunter, I love it. Being a woman in aviation, it is your strength. It is your superpower. Anyways, I've got a 10-month-old. I need to get to bed. So let me go be a dad. Speaking of being a dad, Let me go be a dad as well. I will see you all back here on whatever platform you wish, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, 8 p.m. Eastern time tomorrow. I'll be sending you emails again so you remember. There'll be a video posting around 9, 10 o'clock-ish tomorrow as well across those platforms. Checking in the comments when you do that, you'll be 3 for 3 by then. So go check that out. Listen, have a blessed night. I declare and call abundance over you and your life as well. Fall asleep thinking big thoughts tonight, and I'll see you all tomorrow at 8 o'clock. See y'all.